Part 3, here it comes. Let's get it. Guidelines. The movement will achieve the largest possible measure of unity in order, 1, to form the power base of the organized voice of the black people in a particular region or nation. 2, develop from this position of strength the much needed economic enterprises, and that will not only create employment of opportunities but being owned directly by the people in the community will lower the costs, raise the standard of living. B, financing. There would be a general membership fee. Each community enterprise would be financed initially by the purchase of shares of participating owners. Each share would be purchase price and reach of the poorest, indeed, in special program for shareholding by children who be important part of the movement. Each share draws a fixed interest as a loan, but unlike capitalism, members do not vote by shares. The members who may be able to buy 100 shares has only one vote, like the member who can buy 1 share. The objective is a mass membership and mass patronage of their own enterprises. The additional direct benefits are the patronage dividends received according to the amount purchased and giving period in private enterprise or black capitalism. This would be profit that the owner makes. Under communism, it goes to the state. Under our community cooperative system, the profit belongs to the people for the reasons all in the benefit of the people and not to enrich one of the person or small group. Footnote 1. For a refresher, read Chapter 6 again, The African Constitution, Birth of Democracy. Administration. The organization will be based upon traditional African constitutional system. 1. There will be no authoritarian president or heads as in traditional Africa. The king or chief was the spokesman of the previously expressed will of the people and the instrument for carrying out that will. The national head of organization and the head of every unit thereof will function like manner, issuing no important orders of public statements on behalf of the organization or race. It will represent without consent of council. 2. The organization will modernize the African Council of Elders only to extent of changing elders to leaders in order to admit outstanding young people to membership. The Council of Leaders, therefore becoming the highest governing authority on each level, local, community, state, and national, each leader being elected representative of a consistency to which he is responsible for the actions on the council. This means that all highly important matters of leader on council does not vote independently according to his individual judgment, but must determine in advance the collective will of the people. 3. The highest offer on each level is chairman of the council. In traditional Africa, this would be the king or chief, who could neither vote nor actively participate in discussion, since his principal duty was to proclaim and execute the will of the people as it has been determined by their representatives of the council. Within this people-controlled framework, he will still the chief executive officer. 4. To enable people of the community to have an intelligent or informed opinion about matters of importance, the principal role of leaders is to study and to institute studies upon the basis of which plans are developed and proposals are submitted to the general membership. The leader's purpose, they do not order or direct upon their own authority. A direct medium of communication with the people should be the community newsletter. 5. All officers, even though elected for a specified term of years, should be subject to removal for the cause and any time by the people, another African constitutional provision. 6. The organization itself will be one of the vast union, and no outside organization or union will be allowed to determine its policies, programs, or destiny, no matter under what guise or by what approach the efforts are made. 7. There should be a rigid policy to avoid development of a top-heavy bureaucracy of high-salaried executives. The success of the movement is going to depend very heavily on the number of people willing to sacrifice in giving some unpaid or not fully paid service. For at least the first 10 years, this will be a sacrifice train. The big salary boys should not get on board. 8. The highest legislative body will be a House of Delegates, representing the various major areas or states according to membership. The House of Delegates would meet every 5 years, but subject to special session by the chairman of the council or leaders acting under council's instructions, or it could be called by the people by a referendum. This later emergency could never occur unless the people lost control of their leaders on the council. D. Every undertaking is to be preceded by study, training, and careful financial planning. There should be long-range and short-range goals. Some goals can be achieved in relatively short time. Some, a larger magnitude, will require several years even after the first 5 million membership goal is reached. And still others can, like the internal pyramids, only have their foundation so solidly laid by this generation that the blacks who follow us can continue building on those well-laid foundations at the point where our labors were ended by time. And something along the lines of the plan that must be the vision is obviously not for the overnight quick up and quick down boys. This is for black men, women, and their children who seek to find the lost path of their forefathers and start the upward march once again. Whew, that was fire. Part 4 is coming. We're going to finish this book together. Deconstruction of Black Civilization.